Hi all, this is Allmighty and welcome to this video. So I'm back. It has been a while. I've been checking my YouTube channel frequently and I think it has been more than 3 weeks now since my last video, and I'm really sorry for that, but what can you do? Sometimes bad things happen. I had a streak of bad luck from losing access to the internet because of lightnings and thunderstorms to just breaking my computer, not really breaking, but injuring my leg on basketball. Yeah, a lot of crazy stuff that I don't want to bore you with it right now. I'm going to jump back into the video, but I will definitely talk about it on my stream, which will probably happen over the weekend. So if you want more information actually about me missing making videos, me actually having problems with accessing my computer, thinking about joining the stream or something like that, definitely follow me on my social media because I will try to frequently post information about this channel there as well. Also, while I was away, I did miss a couple of big things happening in the chess world, which I definitely want to I want to reflect on. So the whole Singfield Cup tournament, I was there at the beginning, but then, yeah, the internet access decided to not deny me access to it. Then the whole thing with Aganmatter and the copyright stuff. I don't know what else happened, but definitely I will write a couple of topics, think about them, and definitely talk about them on the stream. That being said, let's jump back into it. So I prepared a nice little miniature for you this time to just get back into it after not making a video for 3 weeks. And it's a game between Samsonov and Rashid Nezhmetdinov. Samsonov, probably not really a famous or very well known chess player, but on the other hand, especially for the YouTube chess masses and for the YouTube chess audience, Rashid Nezhmetdinov is definitely a very famous person. A guy whose style of play is compared a lot of time with Tal's style of play, a guy who likes to play very sharp and very nice positions, goes for the sacrifices, has a very nice imagination. Definitely, if you see a game by Nezhmetdinov posted somewhere, I definitely know that it will be a wild game. So this one also nothing short of extraordinary, but let me just show you what happened. Here Samsonov starts with e4 and Nezhmetdinov responds with e5. We have knight to c3 and knight to f6 going for the Vienna game, and f4 the Vienna Gambit. d5. This immediately shows you what type of a player Nezhmetdinov was, so not going for some gambits immediately, but going for very sharp pawn structure in the center immediately. After pawn captures on e5, Nezhmetdinov captures on e4, and we have knight to f3. Bishop to b4, once again, going very actively with the bishop, not going bishop to e7 and then going castle, but playing very actively in order to get some chances and maybe go for a very nice attacking chess. Queen to e2 played, and now bishop to c3. The whole point behind the bishop to b4 move was bishop to c3, and the idea here is that you want to get rid of this knight, which was attacking the knight in the center, which was a very nice knight. So if you don't play bishop to c3 here, one thing that will happen, knight will capture on e4, and after pawn captures, queen captures on e4, you lose the pawn. But not just that, this bishop doesn't have anything to do in the center anymore. White would be a much better side here, so what you have to do now, you have to capture on c3. Pawn captures on c3, but as I said, black did give the bishop pair, but on the other hand, he has a very strong knight in the center, and white has double c-pawns. We have now bishop to g4, continuing with the active play, and now what bishop to g4 allows is what Samsonov will try to go for. Queen to b5 check immediately. c6 and queen captures on b7. So this was something that was allowed with a move such as bishop to g4, but of course not without consequences. Queen to b7 is a move that you can play. You are up the material, but one thing that you do, you are disregarding your development. And as you all know, development in the opening is a very important thing. So let's see what Nezhmetdinov will actually do, because he is a guy that values development over material, like Fischer and like Morphy, so he goes for bishop to f3 here. Catching up the knight and leaving white with two options. So first one is you can capture the rook, which is a very nice thing to do because having a rook here in this situation could make white feel very comfortable. If he goes out of this attack untouched, then his material will prevail. On the other hand, the pawn can also capture on f3, and at the same time you can threaten with the pawn to capture the knight and still have a threat of capturing the rook. So here Samsonov played queen to a8, but if you capture on f3, queen to h4 is the best response for black. King goes to e2, it would be definitely not the best of moves, but also king to d1 doesn't bring white a better game. But for example, I want to show you this variation where after king to e2, queen to f2 check, king has to go to d1, and queen to f3 gives a check and also wants to capture the rook. So black would definitely be better here. So for now, white decided to play queen to a8. So we have bishop to g2 now. So didn't really want to transition that fast into bishop to g2, because here at the moment it isn't all that clear what black can do. I mean, queen to h4 seems like a very good move, but you have to keep in mind that this queen on a8 is still attacking also the knight on b8. So going castles would seem like the best of choices. Here you don't have too much, so many options. If you go pawn to f3, then pretty much the same idea of queen to h4 is coming. If you play queen to a7, kind of bring the queen on this diagonal, so maybe she can come home to actually defend the pieces. You would run into, once again, queen to h4, and after g3, queen to h5. Still, white is in some problems. He needs to figure out a way how to actually defend himself. After all this, Nezhmetdinov played bishop to g2 in order to get rid of the g-pawn, which could be an obstacle when the queen comes on h4. Here, bishop to g2 was the best move to actually play, and then after queen to h4 and king to e2, you would have to go castle, because now you have to defend this knight and at the same time keep your options open in order to play something like queen to f2 and then continue with the attack, maybe picking up the bishop and something like that. But here Samsonov didn't really go with the best of options. He thought that taking the bishop isn't the greatest of ideas and that he will play bishop on e2 and then give up his rook. And then maybe try and defend himself the other way. But actually, after playing bishop to e2, Nezhmetdinov has a chance to give a checkmate in 5 moves. A 17-year-old at that time, so 1929 and Kazan championship, Rashid Nezhmetdinov was 17 years old, didn't really have a problem finding the checkmate in 5, but if you want to definitely try and do it, because it is a very nice exercise. Doing puzzles such as this one is a very good way to actually improve your chess skills. So for those of you who found it, definitely good job. But one thing that I would also like to mention here is this types of position isn't just it is strange to me while looking at this types of position. It isn't something that you would find only in puzzles and you think, okay, this is something that is set up. This is actually from games like games from Nezhmetdinov's, like games from Tal. So checking out their games and actually thinking about their moves that they make, like bishop to g2 and going immediately for the knight to e4 in the opening, you could definitely go for that attacking chess and learn a lot from them. So yeah, the checkmate in 5 goes first with queen to h4. And think about but I think this is pretty much straightforward. The thing is for white here that the king doesn't really have too much squares to go to, exactly because of this bishop coming to e2. So king to d1 is the only move. Knight to f2 check, king has to go back to e1, and now knight to d3, a double check by the knight and by the queen, as you can see. So king has to go back to d1, and now a beautiful moves, which is queen to e1. Rook has to capture on e1, and then a finishing move, knight to f2 checkmate. Just gaze for a moment and enjoy the beauty, which is this checkmate by Rashid Nezhmetdinov. Yeah, that is pretty much it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I think it was okay, making a short one for the comeback. As I've said, I'm planning a stream over the weekend just to talk for an hour or two about things that have been happening to me while I was away, and of course looking forward to making some new videos for you guys, playing against the engine, playing against some other people, engines, analyzing stuff, and so on. That being said, I would like to thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.